another video of my ranting, right? So, just as I have stated before, my videos are mostly for me documenting my experience of trading and the lessons I've been learning since I became consistently profitable. Will I say consistently? Yeah, but yeah, since I became profitable, like since I started following a particular system, you know, generously. But August has actually been a very terrible month for me. It started very terribly. Like from the first trade I got in, I was stopped out. Second trade, I was stopped out. Third trade yesterday, which was yeah. So my third trade, I got into the trade on Thursday, but it stopped me out on Friday. So after running at least a 1:1 risk to reward, then it stopped me out. It reversed and stopped me out. So yeah, it's been a very terrible experience so far. And somebody may ask, was I not following my system? Was I breaking my rule? None of that. But of course, obviously not. I wasn't. I was actually following my rules. You know, yeah, maybe I think the last trade wasn't completely my rule, my trading model, my entry model, but it was the trade, right? On the high time frame, it was just that trade that I would have entered irrespective. But I got into the trade and it triggered me, and then did at least 1:1 and reverse later into my stop loss. So yeah, it has been a very terrible experience. You know, a very big punch or slap to my ego and my confidence. Or, no, I don't think it's ego. I think it's confidence. Yeah, a big punch on my confidence. But it's cool. It's cool. And also, I actually breached. I reached my 200 accounts, which you know I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting, but uh, the market doesn't care about your expectations, right? So yeah, but just brought me to reality because before today, before I lost these accounts, I was in a very deep drawdown during the ending of June, right? Because the June price action was not favoring me at all. Like the trades that went to full take profits did not trigger my entry. Like they missed me and they moved to take profits. Not one, like countless of them. Then the one that triggered I went to my stop loss. So it was a very terrible experience in July. But I was able to recover on the last day of July. Yeah, I was able to recover and actually got two more payouts into August. But that should have, I should have learned my lesson. I should have learned something from the July experience. Like I should have learned that okay, the market is not looking favorable at the moment. I should be patient. I should not get into every trade I see, you know. But the desperation of and the expectation I placed on those accounts, on my funded accounts, right? Because I wanted to get more payouts. I wanted to get more payouts, and I, I started noticing greed was creeping in. I was getting overconfident. I was getting full of myself, like feeling like, well, I use one trade to come out of Jordan and get payouts. Then we use the next trade and get four figures. I started putting pressure, like mounting pressure on those accounts, wanting to get big bigger payouts, instead of sticking to my 2%, but I was feeling like I was getting comfortable with the figure I was making, which was the range of $500, $600, $500, $600, $400, with that range. So I was feeling like, am I getting comfortable with these figures? Why am I getting comfortable with these figures? I should opt for something higher, and that was where the problem started, without me knowing. So I started risking more than I should, and yeah, basically I was following my rules, even though I was getting stopped out. And that's the reality I've accepted in trading. That your A plus setup is still likely to fail. But what saves you on the markets and keep you longer on the chart is your risk management. How well you can manage risk, how well you can keep coming back, how well you can keep your accounts from getting breached. Like I just happen to, you know. But yeah, I got greedy. I started risking more than my usual 1%. I was risking 2%. I got really, I got greedy. I got so greedy. I was like, why not take the risk? It's a risky game. Why not take the risk? Maybe I can just make out. I can just fuck around and find out, you know, and just pull out four figures, right? I withdraw four figures. Imagine withdrawing 1,000 of $1,500 from a 25K account. That would that would be so nice. And it's actually quite interesting because now instead of me to, you know, try my best to get probably more uh, funded accounts, like work towards getting more evaluation accounts, and I was getting payouts. Right, I think I withdrew like 6 times with these two accounts. I withdrew 6 times, so you can calculate that consistently, like 400, 500, 600. I got one $700 payout. You know, 6 times, so six, sequence. But I wasn't like, I think that was one of the mistakes I made because I was mounting pressure on those accounts instead of me being contented with the payout I was getting from them. I was mounting pressure to get big payouts from them when I should have probably after getting a payout or two, and then I take, you know probably the money for another Profim account, and then I buy another Profim account, and then start working on passing that Profim account. Do you understand? That was what I should have done. You know, so when I get three funded accounts, and then I get withdrawals. That is four figures, right? Instead of mounting pressure on a particular account to give me four figures by fire by force, right? So, and I end up paying the price and losing those accounts. So I'm going to start from beginning. I'm going to start from beginning. Actually, bought an. I don't want to bring. I didn't want this to bring that up. Right. I bought 100K account, FTM account, and that account. That account now is in big mess, in big drawdown, a very big drawdown. So because the last trade I took, I was really confident about that trade. I just wanted, the expectation was too high. I just wanted to, know, try my luck. It wasn't me trading because the setup was so great, right? I wasn't even looking at what I should have been because after the loss, you go back to your chart and then you reanalyze what happened, what you did wrong, what you did not see, right? So I did all that and I realized what I was missing. Right? I wasn't even trading the directional bias. I was expecting price to do things. Price wasn't doing that thing, and then I was now doing something else. You know, instead of me staying back because price was not doing what I wanted to do, right? Instead of me sitting on my hands, and just watching. But I was trying to, it was like I was trying to force Price to do something. Well, it's crazy. And some of these behaviors, you don't really realize that you're doing them because they're subconscious. You know, if it demands a lot, a whole different level of self awareness to actually realize that this is what you're doing, right? But I took the loss and I lost my account, and I come to the realization that, you know, that was the problem. Yes, price action was bad, clearly. But people were making money. Do you get? Price action was clearly slow. Too many liquidity, too many times price was trying to take more liquidity before doing what it needed to do. You just keep taking liquidity, stopping people out and all of that. So it wasn't as clean as I would have loved it, right? So, but people were making money, right? Probably they don't post their losses and all of that. People were actually making money. I push my losses. I don't really give a fuck. I try to be very transparent with my trading because I'm not really, even though I want to get the money, I love to the fact that the end result for this skill is to get financial freedom, right? I try my best to be as transparent as possible and put out my losses just as I put out my wins out there as well. So yeah, August has been crazy and we like. So I'm going to be starting all over again. I just what is it called? I just reset my 25K account. So now I'm going to start it from phase one again. Say this now, starting from phase one is feeling like it's feeling it's not making me comfortable because I was funded no not long ago. Where is your account? Right? So it's really a crazy experience. But yeah, I just try to laugh over it. But it's really painful. It's the battle we fight with ourselves. You know, this game needs a whole different level of focus. Not just focus on the chat, focus on yourself. Like the kind of focus that every every little movement you're making, you're aware of them, right? Every little decision you're making, every little choice you're making, you're like aware of those decisions, like to be full of it and understanding the end goal of that decision and accepting that whatever comes out of this decision you're making, you're going to accept it. Do you understand? So it needs all that. And when you think about it, it's a lot. It's a lot. That is why it's not impossible to fall behind sometimes. It's not impossible to to just to fall short of this. But it's a process. It's a process. You as long as you keep coming out of this, like as long as you keep realizing that this is what's happening and keep trying your best to come out of it whenever it happens, right? Eventually, eventually, with time, you keep doing that, it piles up, and then it becomes your default setting, right? It's your brain gets rewired to be. That's what I believe it's about. That's what I believe trading is. It's like all this mistake I'm making now. That's what I believe, and that is how I believe it's gonna like end eventually. When I keep coming back to myself, to ask myself these questions, like, why am I doing this? You know, what did I do wrong here, and all of that. Eventually, it just becomes my default setting, right? For my brain. But now I just need to keep coming back and you know bringing my focus back to what really matters, right? It's tiring. I'm not going to lie to you. It's so exhausting. Sometimes I want to even stop. Sometimes I get so tired, and I lost, you lose confidence. You question a lot of things. Is this going to work? You come online, you see a lot of people posting what's how trading changed their life and all of that. It's yeah. You just ask yourself if this is actually going to work for you. If you're going to be among one of those people who are someday that is going to like, you know, show how grateful they are about not stopping and you know. Well, which other way to find out, right? There's no other way to find out than but to keep doing what you're doing, to stay consistent, right? To not give up. That's the only way to find out. That's unfortunately, there's nothing you can do specifically. There's nothing you can do, now to just make it all work out or make it click. Do it TDRO says click. No, so you just keep going on with the process. As you can see, I live alone. There's nobody to motivate me. I try my best. I try to get to connect with people that, but it has been really really difficult because I yearn for trading community, genuine trading community, not the ones that they're not really built to handle the pressure of trading or handle the backside, the downside of trading. That every uh, wrong turn with trading, they get crazy and all of that. You know, People that actually understand what this is about and know how they understand how difficult it is to achieve success in it, and actually put in the right efforts to actually attain it, right? Well, I'm finding it really difficult to get people to actually trade, and so we can motivate and talk to each other. But I don't have that, So people that have that, you guys are blessed, honestly, because I'm I motivate myself. I feel the pressure alone. I you know I get uh, the urge to stop, to quit. You know, I bring up myself. I uplift myself again alone. I pray to ask God for help and as well and all of that. But it's actually a different thing when you have somebody that actually does the same thing with you that can actually push you as well. But I don't have that, so I have to do everything myself. Eventually, I will, but it has been crazy, honestly. Yeah, so that is what has been going on, you know, for the past 2 weeks. So trading has been clapping my cheeks. Oh my god! But I'm grateful because, notwithstanding, I've actually got some payouts. You know, in as much as trading can be so difficult and crazy, right? I can proudly say to myself that I've gotten payouts out of this business consistently 6 times, 7 times in total. But this year, from June to July to August, I've gotten 6 payouts. So that is something to be proud of, right? So I'm proud of myself for that. I know I can do more, right? I know I can achieve more, right? Even though it's not coming as fast as I wanted to or as much in quantity as I wanted to. But I'm proud of myself for that little win. I'm so grateful. I'm so proud that I kept going on, I kept going. Because that's the only thing now that encourages me whenever I'm in a situation like this where I start doubting and all of that. So I'm really grateful. I'm grateful to God, you know. I'm proud of myself for putting up the effort to actually fight for my place in this business. And eventually, I will get there. I'll meet you guys at the top. Yeah. So peace out. That's it for today, and hopefully, you know, yeah, hopefully it goes well. Not not actually going well, because for it to go well, for the markets to actually go well, for you to enjoy the trading, you need to be trading with the same direction of them with the market. Because if you're trading against the direction of the market, you are eventually going to loss, lose. So that's just the point. You know, sometimes it comes to the timeline, you see people say, uh, what's it called? That hopefully the market bless us today. It doesn't matter. If you are trading against the trend, the market will not bless you. So you need to be trading with the same direction with the market, but the market will bless you, right? So that's just it. So hopefully, we're able to recognize the market direction, because that's one of the most difficult parts in trading. It's very difficult to understand price direction. Sometimes you think you know, but in reality, you don't actually know. You think you know what price is, direction of price, but somehow you might just be missing something, right? That will eventually wreck you. So apply risk management always. I fell, I fell flawlessly. I failed flawlessly on that this week. I was just reporting my account because I desperately wanted to come out of Jordan and get payouts. Like, as luck may have it, at the ending of July, I was actually able to get one particular trade that took me out of drawdown and got me good payouts. Right, so I was trying to replicate that same scenario, and it wrecked me. So so it's not a game. It's not a game of luck. It's a game of your analysis being correct, right? Following up with the trend and executing. That's it. If your analysis are wrong with price direction, you are going to lose, irrespective of your A plus setup is showing. If your entry model is showing, if it's showing against the direction of price, you are going to lose. So pay attention to that always. Now, this video is not to tell you, it's not even for you, it's for me. I can always come back to watch them, to remind myself, okay, this is what I said. It's like a journal to me. So this is what I said, and this is what I need to work on. So yeah, peace out. I've done this twice, but peace out for real this time.